What's going on, traders? How we doing out there? Are you guys ready to get to Money Mitch? I know that the cannabis team went a little over. Wouldn't you know it? But we'll talk even about cannabis stocks right here. We're going to talk about why I'm long AMC, how my lithium trades are going, and what's going on in the market. Hit the like. Let's get it started. Welcome to Money Mitch.
It's time for Money Making Mitch. When investors need a story, we're going to the moon. Welcome to Money Mitch, where story is everything. I'm here to find you the next opportunity. It's all about the green hands. Now we all know the bull market is here to stay. Money Mitch.
What's going on, traders? How we doing out there? I hope you guys are ready to get into the action and had a good trading day. Another bullish day, wouldn't you know it? And when you're wrong, you're wrong. And it just doesn't seem like the market wants to turn around right now. And it's in real bullish state. And yes, I have missed out on some of this move, but I have been capturing some of the move on up. We've been playing basic materials. We'll talk about my lithium trade today. Hell of a trade, great trade in LAC. Also, LTHM doing good. Our swing trade on the move and continuing to work. We'll get into those. Let's go ahead and first dive into the market and see what we saw out there. So today I'm a big level, 458.76. Going to keep watching that. So to me now, as long as we can hold 458s, we're going to be looking good on the bullet side. So that's what I'm going to keep watching for bull side action, right? And as long as that kind of holds there, I think the bigger stocks, you're going to continue to see the lift off the bottom. Of course, you've been seeing the dash for trash been an insane move lately. Even stocks like today, I was seeing stocks like Ride moving on up. But I mean, I think this has to do with our EV theme that we'll get into. But of course, what did good today? Interesting day in real estate. Big day in some of these stocks. PW. Let's take a look at some of the higher capitalization ones, like American Tower Corp having a 2% day, PLD having a 3% day, and PSA also having a 3% day. So definitely a big move on up in real estate after it's been knocked down. Consumer cyclicals also having a great day. Let's take a look here. We'll take a look at gambling stocks having a good day. DKNG 10% day. Penn had a good day. GNOG's having a good day. Even GAN getting off to $5. We'll see what happens with those. Luxury goods also doing good. SIG, you guys know, is a jewelry maker, really starting to push back. We'll see if these can start making moves, right? So I would draw trend lines, on like, let's say SIG. This one looks like a good trend line that you can watch to see if it breaks through. That'd be a push towards 83.50s. We'll see if these can kind of continue to move. Now let's get into recreational vehicles, also into the EVs that I was trying to take a look at today, and they didn't have a bad day. You could take a look here at some of these. Hellbiz getting on up there about 16%, but that's a real cheap name. Getting off the ground there. THO, but FUV was the one that really got my attention a little bit earlier. I'm going to watch to see if this can start making a move. I'm going to go ahead and set a trend horizontal line above 733. So that's what we're going to alert if we can get back above there on FUV. Let's take a look at EV overall and some of these. So we want to look at auto manufacturing here, and let's take a look at how's this been performing. So let's take a look at stocks like today. Ford was on my radar. And why was Ford on my radar? Because at the end of the day, I've been watching Tesla make a big move on up. Let me just drink some water right quick. All right. So I was watching Tesla move on up and continuing to make a drive, and these stocks weren't taking part in the rally. And so today, very early on in the morning, I could tell something was starting to change. A part of this really came it came by watching some other plays in the auto industries. So whether one of the things that I look at when I think about EV is that there's other kind of components here that we need to keep on watch. So of course, we have LIDAR that we need to keep on watch. We have battery plays that we need to keep on watch. Charging stations have been coming back into favor. And so all these stocks, we need to keep our eyes out and watch for when they start moving so we don't miss these moves like we got today and forward. And I'm glad that I brought it up because it was literally a part of pre-market preps kind of topics. We're going to talk about EV. We're going to watch them. Ford having an amazing day today, going on up there towards 1773. Let's take a look at that chart and see how it traded in the intraday. You can see the 15-minute just ripped on up and held all day. Nice pullback at first to the VWAP. You could have ran that right back up. GM, also a good day here in GM. Look at that, all the way up towards the resistance. Now coming off the bottom there. And it's not like they were giving me too much, you know, but one of the things that I saw is I saw Tesla continue to rip. These weren't making moves. And then I started seeing other stocks making moves. Like if you take a look at QuantumScape here, day 2 move here, I called it out. Just keep your eyes on this QuantumScape to see if it can continue making the drive. And there it is, QS pushing back there towards 2181s. And then I also saw what? I started looking at news in what? AUR. AUR started putting out news, and you can see here today really getting confirmation through that 585. And with AUR, you can take a look at some other LIDAR plays to see if they can start moving. LAZR today also getting nice little push up there towards 16. These were stocks that I gave out on my Twitter. So if you guys aren't following me, I definitely follow me. One of the things that I'm going to start trying to do more is put out charts early in the morning so that you guys get an idea of what I'm looking at in the morning versus what I saw last night. But definitely, yes, nice volume bars on QS and LAZ. Look how the volume changed too. Look how the volume went from 2.5 right back to 5.5, getting us through that level. And if you remember, LAZ is the one that has a deal with NVIDIA. I will remind that. And that's why I really do like this company. And I think they're going to be one of the major leaders in LIDAR. You could also take a look at LADR, and you can see that starting to come back up. But let's take a look at ChargePoint. Look at the charging station today, also getting a nice little lift. We're going to look to see if this can get the lift towards 21, maybe a lift towards 20 tomorrow. 1966 resistance above it. But you guys can take a look at some other plays too, see if they start moving. I'd be keeping an eye out on stocks like, let's say, Microvast to see if it starts getting a lift. Today, early on, we saw Fisker making a move on up, and you could see that getting off the bottom. I was thinking about maybe taking even a swing trade in Fisker. As you can see, the monthly supports keep holding here right underneath this. And if you take a look here, you can see how that 1209 here, it keeps holding. I think this is a good look for a push back towards 15. I'm keeping an eye out on Fisker. And as we know, later in the year, in November, is when their vehicles should be coming out, the Ocean. And so they do have some catalysts coming into play later this year. So stick around. We'll see what happens in Fisker. But nice little bottoming candle there. Can I look at Rivian? Yeah, I'll take a look at Rivian. Why not? Today, let's take a look at the daily chart. And what do? You get a bounce off that bottom. A lot of volume coming on in. So the question is this the bottom? Honestly, I don't see a bad thing trying to get in on like pullbacks closer towards 49.22s right now, maybe close towards 50. You did get a nice drive on up. I'm going to keep a lookout to see if we can get a pullback into the $50 range here, and then I'll keep watch to go ahead and get back into Rivian. But Rivian, strong day today, actually. If you take a look here, this is an hourly trend. And as long as that kind of holds right now, it's looking bullish. It could pull back towards the 50 and then catch some bid again. Let's take a look at Lucid. Was expecting that to also have a good move. Called this one out in live trading as it happened. Did a VWAP bounce that was nice. I was watching this here. And so right out the gates, guys, this kind of went sideways. Then it pushed on up, came back right towards the VWAP. This is when I like to get in slightly below VWAP. We could have been attacking right here. VWAP was set at 26.13. So like maybe you're getting 26.10s and you're risking down towards 20 or 30 cents. What I usually use to get my risk is the pre-market high. And you can see here 25.80. So all right, so I'm getting about 30-cent risk here, looking for at least 30 cents back on up. But really looking for 60 cents from that level. So that's 26.10. We're looking for a 26.70 break. Where's the 26.70s? Let's take a look here. 2670s is right here. And so it's near the high of the day. So that at least makes sense risk to reward wise to go after that VWAP bounce. Nice little VWAP bounce that eventually went through the 27s, then started going sideways, giving you that nice sideways action and sideways consolidation. As long as it holds at 2670 on pullbacks, I am seeing a little bounce here in Lucid. And we know how much of a favorite Lucid is. And I'm going to start deleting lines because there's too many lines here for Lucid. So I have no problem just deleting everything and starting all over. But we're going to keep on watch because sometimes you got to do this. You got to go ahead and reset. Lucid was looking like it was coming down there towards the 15 area. Now you've held the pullbacks. Now you're starting to come back here. Let's see if we can really rip. And the level we're going to look for the breakout is really at 29.05s above into the 30 range. That's where I would see the big breakout in Lucid coming. Kathy Wood would like to see NIO. Kathy is not looking that bad anymore. I'll tell you the truth, guys. If we are going to get a bottoming action in the overall market, and we're going to go to all-time highs, and honestly, it doesn't seem too bad to maybe take a shot now in ARKK. You've been seeing a lot of growth coming on back. The big question is, where's your stop out, right? That's always our question is where would we stop out? So to me, I would look at around 63.50 area as the stop out. And I'd look for pullbacks below 70 to try to take a shot in ARKK. If I wanted to take a shot towards the upside, towards that 100, maybe not a bad look. All right, Hexo tomorrow. Let's get into some cannabis. You guys know how I am a big advocate on cannabis. At the end of the day, I mean, we got to get some good sleeping in at the end of the night. At the end of the weekend, we got to go ahead and relax our minds. It's all about medication. The question is, can we get legalization? Is the bill going to go through? Let's take a look at some of these cannabis stocks and see what we see out there. All right, so CGC here. This is the one that I'm in, guys. I'm still in this one. I got in today at 795. It did make a nice little push. I could add to this, but I'm going to actually stick around here to see what happens, to see if we can get a nice push. That's why I'm in a swing position in this one. It's a smaller position, not going to stress too much, but we're going to keep an eye out on CGC. It is holding well. Let's take a look at Hexo. Hexo is holding sideways right now around the 66s. And so that's not a bad move. I always like when stocks start going sideways after an extreme move. So this is what we would call an extreme move, a big pop out of nowhere going out of the stock and then some sideways action. It's a good look. Now that we got in that sideways action, let's start looking for higher lows to start holding and look for a breakout through these levels tomorrow. If we can get a move towards 70, I would like this chart. It would be looking bullish. Remember, that's 70 cents there, guys, so just be careful. All right, let's keep going here. Let's talk about why I am long AMC and how I got long today. So today we started looking for deeper time frame pullbacks here on AMC. I think that was the important thing here, is that we were looking for the pullback, and when the stock started pulling back on the hourly look, we started drawing out where the supports were, and we could see this 2762 standing out to us. And we started looking at it on the 15-minute, and what did I notice? I noticed this look. So there was right here. It hadn't taken on that next candle, but I did see that two bottoming actions. Once I saw that two bottoming actions, I said, you know what? We're going to look to see if we can get that third bottoming action. So let's take a look here. If you take a look here, you actually started getting that bottoming action right around here. It's right around here. And then I started looking at the 3 minutes to see if we were going to come back and test that level. We came back on this candle right here and tested that candle and recovered. Then I was looking for a big order to fill at 28s, and boom, we started seeing some big orders filling. I got in there at the 28 break, holding towards that 2762 because there was the bottoming action there. Then you started seeing the lift really take on off. This one actually got towards over 30s. Could have been taking profits right there, but I'm holding on right now. A little bit of what I can say is a little diamond hands in me today in this AMC. We'll see if we can get back on up there through the 31s. That's really the level that I'm watching. You know, we had a nice little push going into 3 p.m., then pulled back. The question is, does it hold the pullbacks towards 28s? We want to make sure that we hold that pullback towards 28, because if not, it could crack that 27.62 and come all the way back down towards 25s or 24s. So I'm not going to fight it, but I'm going to give it a chance to see if we can get a nice action move up. All right, let's keep going. Let's see what other stocks are moving with AMC. Of course, GME, one to watch. I've always talked about how the 200 level is so important. When we broke that down last time, that's really where we started washing out. That was when we were watching for a big breakout in it, and it was looking like it was heading towards that breakout. And then it turned around rapidly, broke the 200. Now we're getting close to recovering that. We're going to keep a close eye to see if we can get back above 190s tomorrow and get into the 200. That's what we'd want to see if we want to see AMC also continue. All right, let's get into some of the lithium plays today. My day trade of the day was in LAC here, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys that trade. Let's get into that. So this one was right out the gates. This stock started pushing after a little bit of a red to green move. So you get that red action, green move. When it comes back to VWAP and it started recovering, I took my shot there for the push on up there. Got some out here at the high of day near the 33.60s, and then got the rest of it out near that 34. We got towards 33.98, so can't go wrong with that. It actually went towards a high of 34.14, but I'm glad that we took the profit there. Not a bad gain there towards the 34s, and that was LAC. We still got also LTHM. This is a swing trade that we have, and we've been trying to see that it holds the pullback towards 24.50s. Today, we got another hold of that. We're in this one closer towards 24.80s. And so we're up in the green just a little bit, but it is stair-stepping up and looking well. So I'm going to stay into this one. This is LTHM. The big thing tomorrow is going to be looking for a big move through 25.78. That would give me that real confirmation that we want to continue driving, and then looking for a push towards first this bubble area around 27, 28, and then towards 30. All right, let's go ahead. The return of the diamond hands. Yes, it's out there. It's out there, you guys. All right, let's go ahead. Let's get into some other stocks. If you guys want to take a look at some of the stocks, go ahead up and throw up the stocks that you guys want me to take a look at, and I'll go ahead and do my best. Now, one of the areas that I'd say definitely keep on watch, I did see today for a while that NVIDIA was being weak here out the gates. It eventually turned around, so that's one that I'm kind of keeping an eye out, because it did pull back. Didn't finish necessarily green on the day, but we'll see what happens on this one. Also, Unity started really getting moving. This is probably my favorite metaverse play. So if you guys want to take a look at Unity software, you guys can watch that to see if it's going to keep pumping. But really, it's all going to be a matter of the SPY. Can we keep pushing and get towards maybe all-time highs? Honestly, I do not know. There's one thing I can tell you guys is that the only thing you can do is trade what you see. And of course, always look out and be risk adverse for what could come in the future. For me, that's why I've been risk adverse. And a lot of people have been calling me a bear. But to tell you the truth, for me, it's more of a matter. I don't want to get caught in a 60% down move in the SPY. And so right now, what I'm trying to do is do short-term swing trades, short-term day trades, and just make my money in between. Not be so worried about this kind of volatility that we've been seeing, where stocks make 10% moves from the bottom down up and then come right back down. That's just not what I want to be a part of. All right, I see all those stocks coming in. Money Mitch, who's a contender for only no one would get it, man. I'll tell you the one thing that you do have, though, for OnlyFans SPAC. Why don't you look at Playboy? Playboy actually has something very similar to OnlyFans. If you guys haven't heard of Centerfold, it essentially is like an OnlyFans. The only thing that I would say they're trying to do a little bit more is create more of the influencer type. I think Cardi B leads that Centerfold. So Green Max, if you want to take a look at that, take a look at Playboy and see when that stock comes back. Also see how their numbers are doing. Since they're public about it, they might release something in their earnings about how that Centerfold is really performing. BBIG, Mela Mamas, let's go. BBIG is one of those big rippers. has a tendency of continuing to push. Look at that lift that we're getting right now in after hours. Looks like that's continuing to push here. Got a big push in the intraday. Looks like we drew some levels here. So I was even watching this and I was looking for a big push and a pull back. Look how I drew this, guys, before this happened. I'm not going to change anything because I want you guys to see this. This is a lot of what we do on live trading. So we were watching this move happen at what time? Let me see. I can literally tell you because this tells me exactly the time that I drew it. That's at 11:15. So around 11:15, right around the time that this candle was making that move, we saw the push above the VWAP, and I said, let's look for a pullback into that trend line, into the VWAP, and then look for a push out, right? So this actually goes sideways here, and I've kept watching it. Just a couple minutes afterwards, you get that pullback towards the 305. That's exactly the level that we were looking to look for, that pullback. That's a nice measured pullback. Then you'll get the throw back where it pushes right back towards that high. You got that nice look back towards 311. And then the volume really came into the close. I don't know if there was a catalyst, Melamamas. I can kind of look that up, but I'm going to keep going through the stocks. I hope that you take a look to see if there was a catalyst, but definitely that's a technical breakout and holding well. A lot of this also has to do, it's a high short interest float type of name, and you're seeing the GMEs and you're seeing a lot of the short interest float stocks making big run-ups. MTTR, let's get into that one. That's a metaverse type of play here, getting a nice lift today. I actually like that lift. This stock has been going sideways now for about a week and a half here, a couple of weeks actually. You can see here from February, we essentially haven't broken that February high. We're going to look to see if we break back above 10. That's kind of the level that I would start getting excited on MTTR, but it's not a bad trade. As you can see, it held really good trend today. We'll see if this can continue making runs. Monday here, Monday group. This is one that I actually really did not like at the 300s. I was calling a short on this one, and man, I should have just held that short and gone for it because that thing went from 300 down to about 120. Lost more than half the value there, and now it's coming on back. So for now, I think, yeah, this is coming on back. And you can see here kind of that undercut and rally type of volume where you get a big volume break on the bottom of the candles. A lot of that usually below the IPO low, and you can see how you crack that. You see a lot of volume. Now it's coming back to rip through there. I would look to see if it can push back through 176.57 tomorrow. 150 would be my out on the downside. I wouldn't want to see that break. If it touches it for a second, that's okay. But definitely you wouldn't want to see these wicks break. This is 450, 145.98, and then also 144.25. So let's go ahead and let's just put it down towards 145. And then you could hold right below that 150 level if you're looking for a move back up in Monday. All right, let's go ahead. Kathy bought MTTR. I have to look into that. I'm not exactly sure. Mitch to a Mitch wants to take a look at Grow. I'll be honest, guys. I've been in plenty and plenty of Grow generation stores. I don't think there's anything special here, guys. It's just a Home Depot for cannabis. And if you ever been in any hydroponic store, any hydroponic flowering store, you will find the same things that you find in Grow Generation stores. That's what I just don't understand. Where is the competitive advantage? If you told me that maybe, all right, so the salesmen, they really know cannabis and they're really knowledgeable on what you should pick for your plants, then I'd be like, okay, then yeah, then maybe Grow Generation has something. But I've been there, man. I haven't seen that. I can just tell you that much. Grow Generation's getting a nice lift, of course, with the cannabis names. So this does like to run, but I'm just telling you, at least from my personal experience, I think Home Depot can always step in. If they do get legalized, they could just step in and just carry those products. All right, so Grow getting that lift off the 950 area. So if you look here, I really like hourly charts because you can see that sideways consolidation for multiple days. Then you popped out just today. So today you popped out from that 950 and you really pushed from that level. Now I'd be looking for pullbacks to hold kind of these bodies. So $10 hold on the pullback, or even closer towards this body. So it's 997. Look for that to hold tomorrow and then get a push back towards 1050. Of course, what's going to be needed? Some more positive catalysts in cannabis. Let's go. As Sundial and Planet 13. Planet 13 is really one of my favorites, guys. That's PLNHF. I haven't owned this stock ever, but I can tell you right now, I call this the Apple of cannabis. And I was thinking about taking my shot in the OTCs. I haven't done it before, but Planet 13 is definitely one of my favorites. Let's keep going. All the memes ran today. Yeah, definitely. That definitely did happen. Beat to hell. Let's keep going. What other ones got? Yes, Kathy Wood bought MTTR. Well, there you go. MTTR is not a bad one to take a look at. Kathy Woods is the name. Get it right? Ah, well, we won't go there. I call her the Omen sometimes, so we won't get into that either. Let's keep going. Let's take a look. Tilray being mentioned in the chat. I'll take a look at that, and then we'll wrap on up here, guys. We did start a little bit late, so I went a little bit extra here. But let's take a look at Tilray. Tilray holding the pullbacks here, looking sideways. Now we're just going to look for a breakout through the 840s. We held sideways. It's looking well because you have these three highs. You got 1, 2, 3 actions. From this point on, we shouldn't necessarily break through the support. In my eyes, this is the rule of 3 coming into play. And from that point, as long as the support holds, you're golden now. So as long as this support holds, I'd be looking good towards the upside. And continuations, that's the 761. We'll look for a breakout through the 850s. But of course, this could just spike up and gap up in the morning. All right, what about these holds on AMC and GME? Yeah, so one of the things that you got to understand about holds, right? It's how it works, right? It's a mechanism, right? And so a lot of the time when you're getting a stock to move very volatile in the spread, that's how you're going to get a lot of the holds also. And so I was watching AMC and how it was moving down. And when it was moving down, the spread liked to jump down a little bit. And so some people were getting scared out and they were hitting the sell button really quickly. And so this was actually causing the effect to actually have that rebound effect where it was going up and it was coming down and they would sell a little bit more and it would shoot down and it would shoot right back up. So this is when this is the truth about dealing with a stock that has this much volatility. I've traded stocks that have gone through the moon. I remember I traded Elfin when it went freaking to like 100 from like 15. And so with these, you got to understand that it's going to be very hard to control your risk. And so always start thinking about that. If my original share size was 100, on usual positions because I'm looking to risk, let's say $50, or I'm using the risk $10, whatever it may be. Start cutting that down on a position that's this volatile, because in my eyes, I think you got to be careful and you got to be risk adverse in a name like this. And in AMC, I used about 1/5 of a position that I would normally use on the trade because I wanted to give myself a little bit of room for the volatility not to just stop me out. All right, we'll see what's going on there. D Nice, great call. We'll see what happens there. I don't know which one was that one, but we'll definitely keep watching. I still have the AMC there from the 28s. We'll see what happens if we can get another run on up into the open tomorrow through the 31s and continue to make some profit. How do you find the right crypto? Honestly, I would recommend go to our crypto show, Moon or Bust, go to Roadmap. I'm really no crypto expert. I can take a look at some charts, but I'm really not a crypto expert. I'm learning myself about the cryptocurrency game. I've tried to take a technical approach to cryptocurrencies and it just hasn't worked out. So I think it's kind of more of a long-term game kind of thing. But hey, power to you and whatever you guys can do out there. So thank you guys for joining me. Quantum, Richard, Zen Bullish, Mo the Crow, the Eagle, always, Steve Stacy in the house, Jonathan, Hot Dog Jones in the house, Dark Matter battle rap, trying to do a little rap game here. Got to work on my lines here. Mitch in the house, of course. Mellow Mamas, and of course, we also had Hertz in the house a little bit earlier so thank you guys for joining. Like always, hit the thumbs on up. I do want to let you guys know that we are going to be doing a release on, and I've been telling you guys a little bit about this, so I will let you guys know. We are going to be doing a release on Hyliion tomorrow, guys. So I've been telling you guys what truck this was. That's the Hypertruck ERX in the background there. We're going to be releasing this after live trading, getting into our list maker event tomorrow. And on our list maker event tomorrow, we got LAZR, Lumineer right there tomorrow. So if you guys want to learn a little bit more about LIDAR, I was talking about those plays. Stick around for the list maker tomorrow. We got a lot going on. I'm going to actually give you guys the link to that so that you guys can go ahead and check out who's going to be on the list maker series tomorrow. So here you guys have it. There's a lot of companies that are going to be joining. So if you guys want to get some information on some of the top companies in the EV space, definitely check that out. There's some great companies that are going to be a part of that. Let's go ahead. I'll give you now the trailer here so that you guys can understand what exactly is going to go on Hyliion. On Hyliion, we did an in-person factory interview. We also did, of course, a design showcase and a test drive that we're going to be releasing in a 3-part series. So stick around and check that out, guys. That's going to come out tomorrow. Until then, I'll see you guys on live trading tomorrow, and then we'll be releasing Hyliion. So, hey, tell me what you guys think. I'm super excited to release this, and it should be out tomorrow at 11:15 a.m. See you guys tomorrow at Hyliion. Don't miss it, guys.